What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bobo. Hope we're going to have a better one than yesterday where the damn thing cut off on us midway through it. So let's hope for some good stuff right there. Shout out to you guys this morning on this fine Tuesday. I hope today is going pretty good for you guys. I feel like I'm starting to look like Marv again from Home Alone. A lot of people were saying that after yesterday's video. Had paint all over me. A lot of people had a lot of things to say. And I get it. I totally get it. I titled this Bobo a good day because that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Yesterday was a bit of an off day for me. I wasn't really doing too good. I think I've been dealing with like a little bit of down and outness for a lot of different reasons, a lot of things. I think the main reason, though, allowed me to hit the therapy couch with you guys for just a moment. You know, I'm feeling very alone. Ugh. I hate to talk like that. I mean, it's not something that I'm proud of or anything. It's just it is what it is. I've cut off everybody. I mean, everybody. I've cut them all off, and I don't talk to nobody. I don't really want to talk to nobody. I think it's kind of crazy, and I hate to say this, but in some regards, I almost feel like I'm on like this kamikaze mission. Well, if we're gonna crash and burn, fuck it. And I hate to feel like that. So forgive me for yesterday. I'm going to try to be a lot better today. And that's why I've titled this Bobo a good day. I'm going to get that out of the way real quick. It's no excuse for nothing, but it is the truth. You know, it is. All right. So anyways, a lot of things also happened yesterday that kind of had me feeling some kind of a way. And I think the biggest thing was the fact that we didn't get no work done over at the house. As I was doing the Bobo, I received a text from a contractor who told me nobody was going to be at the house, and I don't like that. You know, when I hear things like that, it makes me feel like all sorts of crazy things. My biggest fear at this point is we're not going to be able to finish this house, you know, and we're going to end up on some kind of a national quarantine lockdown. I know that's coming. You know, it's not like I even got to talk it up. It's going to happen. Here in the state of Virginia, they just canceled schools for the rest of the school year. They've closed down pretty much everything except for essential things. Grocery stores, gas stations, places like that. And I was, you know, when I heard that yesterday, I told my wife, I was like, fuck, that probably means Lowe's is closed. She said, no, Lowe's is going to stay open. I said, well, okay, we got that at least. We got that. So good deal to that. And we're going to try to get, you know, as close to completion as we possibly can. Things are taking a lot longer than, you know, I would hope for. I was expecting to be painting, like doing the actual, you know, finishing of the painting work. I think yesterday I wanted to be able to do that. I couldn't do it yesterday. I went over there. I did some work myself. And I can't do it today, and I can't do it tomorrow, and it's probably not going to be till the end of the week that I'm actually getting a chance to frickin' do the real deal painting. And I hate that. We didn't have nobody working over there yesterday. That holds us up. The plaster guys, they're not going to be back until Wednesday. There's some stuff that they got to touch up. I noticed that the damn kitchen window, there's an issue with that. And then I was noticing some other things as well. But neither here nor there. I'm not trying to bitch about it. I'm just, I guess, talking out loud. There's a lot of things that still need to be done over there. Today, they are working over there supposedly. They're supposed to be getting the floors finished, which still there are a couple of spots on the floors that aren't finished. And then finishing the trim around the laundry area. That needs to be done. And then, oh boy, I saw it. I saw it stutter right there for a second. Dark Carnival, shout out to you. Looking forward to it every morning. Man, hell yeah. Sarah says, happy birthday. Whose birthday is it today? Fireman, what's going on with you, Richard? Shout out to you. Thank you for the support. Nibby says, construction is essential. It's kind of crazy to think about that, right? Whoever's birthday it is, I'm looking through the comments section. I'm looking for it. And shout out to you. So, I'll share with you guys a couple of Big Dave. Oh, shout out to Big Dave. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Becky, what's going on with you? I'll share with you guys a couple of blunders Now, I wouldn't even notice one of these big blunders. Well, two of them. I wouldn't notice both of these big blunders until yesterday. I was sharing the story with you guys about going to Lowe's, and then I could have very easily picked up the wrong kind of primer. Well, it could have been oil-based, and that would have been detrimental. Thank God that it wasn't. So I'm having a conversation via Messenger yesterday morning with this guy that I'm considering a mentor. This guy named Brian. We've never met him. I've never met him. He's local. He knows everybody. And, I see the work that he does on Facebook. The dude does fantastic work. He's very, very skilled in all sorts of construction stuff. And he knows quite a bit about plaster, drywall, that type of stuff. So I was having a conversation with him. This is where it all started yesterday. And he was talking about the latex or oil-based. Well, when he brought that up, it never even crossed my mind. So I ran out to the truck, and in my truck, I had the 2 gallons of primer. Oh, God. I'm getting an attachment. This is probably going to be another crazy receipt. Of course it is. Okay. Well, no big deal. Another Brian, Indy Silver. Yep. I run out to the truck and I check the 2 gallons that I got. And that says latex. So I'm like, yes, thank God I didn't make this major blunder. Now, mind you, I bought 2 different, buckets of paint. I bought a 5 gallon and a 2 gallon. So I'm having this little thought in my head, because I don't have the 5 gallon bucket there at my house. It's at the flip house. And I'm just having this crazy thought like, what if, for whatever reason, that 5 gallon is different than that 2 gallon? And sure as shit, folks, when I get over to the house, it is. The 2 gallon is called, Kills Multi-Surface, primer or whatever. And it said latex based. So when I go outside and I see the 5 gallon bucket, the first thing that I notice is it says interior something. It doesn't say the multi-surface. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, we already got that difference right there. I'm like, but it's interior. It's got to be latex. And it's not. It's not. It's water-based. Where the fuck did this come from? I thought we had oil-based, latex, and now water-based, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. We got water-based mixed with latex. Like, this shit's going to be all fucked up. So I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I'm seeing things that I'm not liking, like little things that need to be addressed. Nobody's there working. So I'm having a mild panic attack. All the while, I'm trying to film a video. That video is probably going to go today. It's not the greatest video. I'll just be honest with you. I've already been looking at it. It's not the greatest. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, holy shit, latex with water-based, like what have I done? So I do some research and Google tells me latex and water-based are the same damn thing. Well, I don't know how they are the same damn thing because one says latex-based and the other one says water-based. But they seem to tell me they're the same damn thing. So thank you guys. You guys are saying the same thing. Salty says you're doing a terrible job. I feel it. Killed it with the sprayer. Thank you very much. We had some comments. I'm going to try to address a couple of those. We had 250 up in here. We got 232 now. We're dropping folks frantically. It's probably because I'm looking like Marv again. I don't know. But shout out to you guys for being up in here. So that was my first thing. Not knowing if that was a big deal, but Google tells me it's not that big of a deal. So I'm like, whew, thank God. Now, I want to get to something very, I guess it's kind of important to a certain degree. And wait until you hear all this bullshit. I know every time I go over there and I attempt to do any work, there's always going to be a bunch of comments trying to offer their opinion. I talked about that. I prophesized that yesterday on the Bobo. People tell me, my painting was shaky at best. I showed a little 3-inch roller. I really did have a bigger roller, but I was just using the small one, for some spots. But that was funny too. I was laughing reading the comments like, Jesus Christ, you're using a 3-inch roller to paint the entire house, a baby roller. That had me laughing. But one comment was talking about the trim that we've done inside of the house and how that looks ghetto as fuck. Well, to explain that, we were trying to match trim. with existing trim, so we didn't have to replace all of the trim around the windows and doors. The bedroom doors, the bathroom door, and the 2 closet doors. That's 5 doors where we didn't want to replace that trim. Because I shared it with you guys yesterday. We spent almost $1,000 just in 1x4s and then that corner shit. So that was the reason why we had that 2-piece trim going on. We were trying to match the trim. Talking about it looked ghetto. I thought it looked pretty good once, we got some paint on it. But neither here nor there. That doesn't even, it doesn't bother me because I can't please anybody at this point. I'm depressed. So whatever. That's not even the issue. I just wanted to explain, why we were doing what we were doing with the trim around the windows and doors. Well, on day 1, when I went in there and sprayed Sunday, I'm spraying everything. I'm not prepping shit. I'm a master fucking painter like the whole comment section. I mean, it is what it is.
Joe, screw all these people
Scully,
that
shout out
comment
to you,
the
man.
way
Thank you
they
very
do.
much.
Most of them probably
Sometimes
haven't
it does get
left
on my nerves.
their mom's basement their whole life.
Boy, that was a burn right there. APS Army, special shout out to you, brother. Thank you for all the support. Tony, what's going on with your brother? Kate, good morning. Jersey, what's going on? So I sprayed the trim, and then I noticed immediately that the paint turned yellow. So I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't seem good. Maybe I should have prepped it. Maybe I should have cleaned it a lot better than I did, but, whatever. So yesterday, when I go over there, I don't get a whole hell of a lot done. I'm troubleshooting a lot of stuff. I get over there probably about 12 o'clock. I left at 4. I got the closet painted. I got some trim painted and around I really only got like a bedroom done. That was it. And I was hand painting everything. And talking and filming. Never Again says nicotine. It could be. When I'm painting it, like this smell just starts coming out. It's like starts permeating this goddamn smell of like old house. So I put the second coat of paint on the closet trim because I had that hit pretty good. So I'm putting the second coat of paint on and I'm getting the yellow still. Not as definitive, but definitely still getting it. So I'm like, okay, something is wrong here. Maybe it's oil-based that's on the trim. Like, I really don't know. So I start researching when I get home. And it's like, if it's stain on the trim and you try to paint latex over that, the stain's going to bleed through every coat. So I'm like, well, fuck, I put a second coat on there and the shit's still bleeding through. Now I'm freaking out again. 5 doors, 2 bedroom doors, 2 closet doors, and a bathroom door. Still got original trim. 3 windows, still got original trim. That's 8 damn things that need to get fixed if we run into this issue where today when I go over there and I just say, fuck it, and try to put the real deal semi-gloss coat of white paint on 1 piece of trim just to test it. If it bleeds through, folks, we are absolutely fucked. Because I don't know what to do at that point. You got to use some kind of shellacker or something, sand it down. It's a lot of prep work to get that shit to take the latex to not bleed through with the stain. So I'm thinking to myself, now mind you, here we go. We're going into this big old fucking pot of bullshit. So I'm thinking to myself, well, how hard is it going to be to get 3 coats of paint off of this trim? Sand this shit down, take it down, sand it down. Like, we're talking a lot of work. I mean, I could do it. Do I want to do it? Not really. I'd rather just go in there and, get away with hoping that this 3rd coat of paint takes and it hides it. But it's probably not going to happen. So what that brings up is it better to try to sand all of that shit, or do I tear it all down and do brand new trim around all of it? And if that's the case, you're talking probably $1,000 in wood. You're talking, now we're going to have to get new doors, because if we're going to replace the trim, we might as well fucking replace the doors too, because, they're that same color. So that's 5 doors. And then on top of that, the real creme de la creme is, if that's the route we go, we've replaced all the trim around all the windows and doors. And we never needed to do that 2-piece trim in the first place. We could have just used your basic house trim. I was talking with my contractor about this morning, everything that I'm sharing with you guys. And I said, he said something. He was like, Joe, on the next one, he said, Joe, on the next one, you know, we're just going to go in there and gut the whole bitch. Then you could do whatever you want. He said, because right now we're trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And I said, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So there's that. My wife went and picked up the paint yesterday that we needed for the house. 5 gallons of wall paint, 3 gallons of ceiling paint, 3 gallons of trim paint. We were supposed to have satin finish all through the house on the walls, flat white on the ceilings, and the ceilings are going to be white, and then the walls are going to be kind of like this color that I got behind me, a little bit. Maybe it is this color. Kind of like this color right behind me. So it's kind of like a gray, definitely an off-white. So I get over to the house, and then I realized that the wall paint, which was supposed to be satin finish, is flat. So that's wrong. She's getting that changed out today. And then I'm looking at the walls and the ceilings. I want to start with the ceilings, work my way down. Now I got to tape off my corners, make sure my corners are sharp. But here's the next little problem that we got. Those ceilings, like where the wall and the ceiling meet, they're not perfect. When I look at this house, the shit's perfect for the most part. If there's a mistake, it's very minimal. Well, in this house, they're pretty drastic. So I think to myself, if I put flat white paint on the ceiling with your satin finish on the walls, and then the walls, you know, the line is a fucking wave. And it looks a lot better than it did, but it's still nowhere near perfect. I'm kind of mad that we tore down all the walls and the shit's still not perfect. But then I got to keep in mind that the young guys that I hired did the ceilings. So, you know, they got to wear some of the blame here too. Maybe my finisher should have done a better job, you know, that I just did recently. Maybe it could have been squared away, but I don't know. My concern, though, is at this point, once we go and we put this two-tone paint up in the house, that it looks kind of crazy. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just overthinking everything right now, and it's not as bad as I think. You know, my contractor tells me that by the time we get the paint on the walls, the flat paint is going to help hide, you know, some of the imperfections. I don't necessarily believe that. I mean, he probably knows a lot better than I do, but still it sounds crazy to me. Maybe it sounds crazy to y'all. Becky says, invest in the crown molding. I thought about that, but that's just more money. And at this point, I'm really not trying to spend money. You know, we got a very uncertain time that we're dealing with in the world. And that really freaks me out, right? I've gone through hell with this house. With every Joe Schmo that's came through there, every issue that's arose because of, you know, the people that I've trusted to do work. And, you know, I put a lot of blame on them. I have to, because it's their fucking fault. But also it's my fault. You know, I allowed that type of shit to happen. But with all of that, I just think to myself, look, I have been adamant. I'm going to finish this goddamn house. Through the fucking hellfire comment section and everybody telling me what I'm doing wrong. You know, trying to take heed to the shit that, you know, that sounds good, that sounds right. You don't got to agree with me, but if people are saying things that sound right, you know, I'm listening. If they're telling me I don't know what I'm doing with the spray rig and I can let off the trigger a little bit, I don't never let off the trigger. I hold that bitch down, fully automatic. Gypsy says your hair today is your fault too. It is. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how I look anymore. I don't care. I'm over it. At some point, when the country bounces back and we get back on track, hopefully, you know, I'll care again. But right now I'm in my pajamas right now. You know, I haven't even taken a shower yet. I feel crazy. I'm listening to a lot of like relapse, depressing, feel sorry for me because I'm a drug addict piece of shit type of a music. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, I like this shit for some reason. Maybe I need a relapse. It would sure do good for the views. It is what it is. Gypsy, I know. It's all good. I got the bedhead going on today. I am listening to the depressing music, though. I got a new song that I like. It's called Using Again by, I don't know who it's by, but it's a good song. I like it. Well, I shot that dope and I'm a piece of shit. I look like hell and I smell like shit. You know, I like it for some reason. I'm like, oh, God, it pulls at the heartstrings to feel sorry for these motherfuckers who are stealing from their grandmother's purse. Oh. Anyways. E.T. Zeno, what's going on with your brother? Dude, what the fuck? I've been subscribed for 20 months as of like a week ago. Now I'm unsubbed. I don't know what's going on with there, brother. But you have been a major supporter. I'll go ahead and gift sub you. Oh, shit. Fuck, I ain't got my password updated. I'll gift sub you. Hey, can somebody gift sub E.T. Zeno? I don't put in passwords when I'm doing live streams. It's just, I feel weird about it. E.T. Zeno, special shout out to you, brother. Vanther, I'm just kidding about the relapse thing. Probably a joke that's in poor taste, but forgive me. All right, let's go ahead and move on, folks. Enough about the house. Hopefully today work is taking place, and hopefully today we're going to get somewhere. I got nothing in the bammer. I didn't film much yesterday aside from this vlog that you'll probably see today about me going over there and trying to get some work done, but I probably spend more time talking than doing any work. And for God's sakes, for everything that I've just shared with you guys, I mean, that's about the extent of the video. I also thought the tire was about to fall off my wife's Jeep, so I'm probably going to title the video today, I Almost Died, not clickbait. Watch till the end. Subscribe and turn on bell notifications. Narrow shout out to you for the gift sub. Thank you very much for helping a brother E.T. Zeno out. Never again shout out to you. Thank you very much for all the love and support. While locked up. I got some videos, though, that I do want to film. I got some good videos. I want to film this video about what happened with Danny on APS. I've talked about that here on the Bobo. No drama. I mean, not really. I want to send him an email prior to me doing this video, though. I'm also going to film a video because somebody asked the question, Joe, why didn't you ever join a gang while in prison? Now, I've talked about this. Talked about gangs in prisons. But fuck it. It sounds like, a good video to do. I want to go back to doing my crazy prison items for sale on eBay. I've got a couple right now. And then I've also got a prison hacks video that I want to do. Now, what's crazy is, when I go through my Instagram and I'm looking at that, our Instagram be popping. Like, we put up videos that do way better than on YouTube. Like our older After Prison Show videos, like Jew Man, or just crazy stories. There's a lot of video. Cody holds the Instagram down, so I don't really know. Yo, we're getting like almost 1 million views on Instagram. I'm like, damn, why can't we be monetized there? I'd be like Bob Menery. I would just be doing game shows on Instagram. But I look at one of the last posts that I made, which was, talking about the house. So I'm looking at the comments of that because I'm expecting those comments to be, fuck you, Joe, Wes Watson for life, whatever. But they weren't like that. They were, yo, fuck the prison content, which I absolutely feel you. Fuck the prison content. And I mean, I almost want to do a video at some point, like I'm done with it. But I don't know. It's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do. Because it used to be, it was easier for me to go do the vlogs versus doing prison content. But then I don't have any friends anymore. I hate everybody. Like, everybody to me, I can't trust them. Hands down. That's just the way I feel. I see things, no blasting, it is what it is. If you're wondering who I'm talking about everybody, minus Gay Dave. That's how I feel. But I don't get to see him like that. And Connor. So when I was, hanging out with everybody, it was way easier to do the vlogs. Well, now it's only me by myself, I might as well start doing like exploring abandoned shit, exploring abandoned crack houses. I even thought about, I don't know. But needless to say, I do got a couple of prison videos up in the Bamber that I want to do. And real quick, if you're looking for a great gift idea to send to me, don't do this. I'm not being reverse psychology with this. Don't do this because it's fucking expensive. But when I tell you guys that I want to do this like crazy prison items video for sale on eBay, I almost was going to film a video yesterday, and I was just too depressed to film it. It's fucking embarrassing to tell you that. But I was like, I just want to have fun in front of the camera. So I almost filmed this video about price gouging toilet paper because on eBay, and I've got the screenshots, on eBay, they were selling a pack of toilet paper for $50, and all the comments were like, you were price gouging, this is wrong. I came super close to filming that. Thank God I didn't waste my time on it because it could have been the video for today. When just yesterday, they're doing these live streams, these press conferences, and they talked about how you can't do that shit. You're going to prison. They're getting ready to start knocking on the doors of warehouses. They're hoarding toilet paper. FBI, open up. You're under arrest. What would the hand sanitizing hoarder who tried to make a killing but got shut down and investigated in Tennessee? Wasn't it Tennessee? He had 18,000, 16,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. Thought he was going to sell that shit for $20 a whop. I heard about a couple that got shut down on Amazon. They made $100,000 in less than 2 months selling provisions, I almost filmed this video. Price gouging toilet paper, you scum of the earth pieces of shit. But thank God I didn't do that. So, as I'm doing my research this morning, folks, I run across something that would be priceless. I can't afford this. This thing cost as much as my monthly payment on my new Ford F-250 that I am a cunt hair from going and buying right now. No payments for 90 days. Actually, my payments are $1,100 a month for that truck. $65,000. I found the one that I want. 2019 Ford F-250, 250 or 350, Lariat or Platinum Edition, lifted. That bitch is looking like John Party. All right, folks, check out this gem that I ran across. DeWalt, Jesus. Check out this gem that I ran across. And tell me that we couldn't.
Charlie update. Question mark, exclamation
Tell
mark.
me that we couldn't make a hell of a video with this
question
if we
mark,
could get
exclamation
it. But I'm not
mark.
going to waste my
Question
time and money
mark.
on this. Bung, let's go. Pull it up. Folks, they'll sell anything on the internet, even the Scan Mail 10K2 Prison Mail Contraband Dangerous Item Scanner Detector Plus Tester. I've never even seen one of these in real life. This bitch is like a unicorn. You hear about these, but I've never seen one. I had no idea the bitch looks like an oversized fucking printer scanner copier combo. $935 they want for this. $45 for 24 months. I wouldn't even waste my fucking time. Folks, you've heard about these things. Hey, don't send it through the mail. They got a Scan Mail 10K2 Prison Mail Contraband Dangerous Item Scanner Detector Plus Tester. Dog, how you know that? You've been in the front office a little too much. How many hot dog trays is you getting? I can make a whole video just about this item right here. Folks, this motherfucker right here looks like the first goddamn cell phone. Let's investigate this item a little bit better. Like, what the fuck do you put? It looks like you could put anything through that. A manila envelope. Also, it's got a test card. It lights up. It's got bells and whistles and alarms on it. If you've ever seen one of these in real life, you a snitch. Hands down. Hands down. You like Tekashi trying to get out of prison early. Write that down. There's an easy day at the bank. I say at the bank. We're not getting shit these days. Tekashi 6ix9ine's trying to get released. Harvey Weinstein's just popped positive. The college admission scandal parents are getting released April the 1st. Madoff, same thing. They're trying to get released. You know what I mean? You could play Oregon Trail on this shit. This shit looks like the hard drive or the CPU, whatever you call it, computer. I'm not a nerd. This thing looks like the computer when I was in high school. You know, because I was in high school back in 99 and 2000. Supposed to graduate in 2001. I booked my first trip through Expedia.com to jail. Back before Expedia was ever a thing. This looks like the goddamn computer from back in the day. And they want $935 for this thing. Now, the condition says used, tested with all factory supplied samples, and found it was in good working order. Folks, we ought to buy this. And then we could. Think of all the videos we could do. You know, we could do some motherfucking unbox therapy, what are them other channels that do shit like this? Good Mythical Morning. You know, my views might be down in the toilet right now, but that's okay. I still got a brain, and I'm still thinking. How do we bounce back? Will it pass? The Scan Mail 10K2 Prison Mail Contraband Dangerous Item Scanner Detector Plus Tester test. Boy, though. Tell me this shit wouldn't be a gem. And you know what we would do? Every video, we would try to package the contraband a little bit better. Will the alarm ring? False bottoms in the manila envelope. Okay, that's not going to work. Now, we got to spend 30 minutes before we actually get to the test. We got to do it like a Facebook dropping a car on a trampoline video. This is a car. This is a trampoline that I built to withstand the weight of a car that we're dropping on a trampoline. Boy, I got more bars than Eminem this morning. Don't try me, don't try my D, says I just bought it. Don't buy it, because I found a cheaper one. Yo, can you imagine this shit? This is like binge-worthy content right here. This is like shooting them goddamn metal prison trays with your AK-47, you know what I mean? This is how After Prison Show gets back. Will it pass? The scan test, Scan Mail 10K2, Prison Mail Contraband Dangerous Item Scanner Detector Plus test. I think it's pretty cool. Steen, what's going on with you, brother? Shout out to you. But we do it like that. You know what I mean? Like the Facebook videos, this is a car, this is a trampoline, and then you got to go 5 minutes before you even get to that. Now, in Facebook, you know, that's like Mercury. That planet's spinning a lot faster because it's a smaller planet. I don't necessarily know that to be true or not, but we're dealing with Earth years here on YouTube. So we got to stretch it out a lot longer. Wonder if it detects the Suboxone strip. So what we do is we buy this. You guys send me all the contraband. And then we see if we can get it through. Can we get the cigarettes through? I wonder what it tests for. So when you look at this, it tests for a battery, like a couple of batteries. Scan Mail 10K will not alarm on the normal metallic contents of office mail, example staples, paper clips, etc. Shows you can pass through a convenient bundle handful of mail without disruption. Oh, and that's something else you got to take in mind too. Oh, and real quick, prison surplus item as pictured, complete with contraband test cards. Checked all and it passed all tests. These units sell for over $3,600 new on the web, but you can buy ours for a lot less. So contraband in jail and prison is a roll of the dice. How much mail are they stuffing through this fucking, this chuck hole at a time? Maybe your package is particular. It's unique. They think something's up with that. So they're going to test that by itself. If it's really old tobacco won't alert. All items are sold strictly as is. Okay, so if the goddamn thing don't work, then what? I want that motherfucker to alert. Communication. We try to answer all emails, but once you bought it, you're hit. Fixed shipping. So again, even if we, could buy this, did buy this, we got to wait to get this motherfucker. My wife just tried to send something to her friend via Amazon, and her friend is in Hawaii. And I got an email as soon as she made the order, whatever it was, from Amazon that said, 10 to 20 days. We got to find a flight to get that shit there. So, how long would it take us to get this? Feedback will be issued once we have received feedback from you. Huh. Interesting. What else are they selling? What is that? Some sort of a probe? I want this. God, we could do a lot of shit with this. We could try to put, I don't know what we could do with it, but so there was that. I wanted to share that with you guys real quick. I ran across a couple other interesting items on eBay for sale, and that brought up another idea that I had, which was this prison hacks, right? And I'm not talking about your dumbass, taking a fucking straw, cutting it in half, and using that to sniff cocaine Facebook videos that you're watching. I'm talking about like real deal prison hacks. Shit that you never even knew. Shit that will break the hearts of people. And I know that that's the wrong, like this is the wrong time to be doing that type of shit because like people are worried about people in prison and they got every right to be. I just found the fucking video today that, it's fucking scary. Let me show it to you real quick. You talk about, or people are talking about, the coronavirus in prison. We made a video talking about that. We can't use the word coronavirus on goddamn YouTube. That is a demonetizable term. We couldn't even talk about the lockdown. What do prisoners do on lockdown? There wasn't even a fucking curse word in that. And they demonetized that shit. But whatever. Folks, brace yourself for some very crazy shit. We're down in Mississippi. This dude is sick as fuck.
Say, what wrong with you?
Man, I got sick.
You got sick? What the fuck? What you coming down with?
Oh, you got a cell phone.
You got sick yesterday.
I got sick yesterday.
Please help make this video go viral. I will, Sharika. Your man got a contraband cell phone. How'd he get that through? They must have not had that scan mail 10K2 shit up in there. So yeah, prisoners are going through it right now, folks, and it might not be the right time to be talking about this prison hacks thing, but maybe we do. I don't know. It's not really that bad. It really pertains to prison hacks for writing letters. And Jimmy James said no video. Did you guys see it? Y'all seen it? I don't know what was going on with that. But with this shit taking full effect on the entire planet at this point, Virginia, not only did they just cancel schools, they also are preparing. So what Prison Industries is doing, this right here. Prison inmates in Virginia making protective masks for offenders and staff. I saw another video on Facebook, and I can't even share this video with you guys because can't. But there was a bunch of dudes who had, it was a very grainy video from inside of a prison. I don't know where the hell the prison was at. But these dudes had sheets tied around their necks. They were standing outside the rails on the top tier, ready to hang it up. And it was like 2 or 3 of these martyrs. And the fucked up thing is I'm watching this video like anybody else, wondering if they're going to jump. They never do in the video, not to say that they didn't, and that's just a horrible situation all the way around the board. But when the dude turns the camera around on himself with that contraband cell phone, I wish I knew his full government. I would tell on him. Just wanted to let that sink in for a moment. All the prisoners in there were wearing dust masks, and I was like, damn. So, I was wondering when I saw that, are they giving those away to prisoners? With there being a shortage of those type of things all over the world. Well, anyways, here in Virginia, they're making these damn masks. Virginia Department of Correction inmates are making masks for offenders and staff to guard against sneezing and coughing amid the coronavirus outbreak. Folks, if you sneeze and you cough up in a prison, you're going to die. Hands down, you're going to die. I prophesized this. I hate to say that I did that, but, sometimes I get it right. Down here in Colombia, 23 dead. Prison riots over fears of the coronavirus. Killed everybody because a motherfucker sneezed. I don't know why necessarily, but this is crazy. Y'all remember watching Prison Break when them dudes got locked up down there in South America? That shit was, what was that, like season 15? I think on season 16 they ended up getting locked up in the first colonization of the moon. They ran that shit through. They ran the gamut on that joint. But again, let's go back to the masks story. This is huge. Not only do you want to try to prevent the spread of this, how are you going to practice social distancing up inside of a jail or a prison? But now they've got prison industries making these masks. Looks like a little thong, somebody said. DeWalt, yeah, you're right about that. Close this motherfucking cloud ad. There's our governor right there. Virginia prison inmates are manufacturing masks for offenders and staff to guard against sneezing and coughing. You want to talk about a way to go out of there real quick? You ain't getting released, or you just can't take it no more. You ain't got to tie a sheet up. Just sneeze on a motherfucker. They're gonna take care of that real quick. The non-medical grade masks are intended to help keep the virus out of more than 40 state correctional facilities and are being made at 4 prisons in Virginia, or by Virginia Correctional Enterprises, VCE. Just did a video talking about these jobs in prison. Now prisoners are making these masks. That's their job. On Sunday, 5,200 masks were delivered to Coffeewood. That's a level 2. Dillwyn, another level 2. 80 masks were being delivered to probation and parole officers on Monday. Deerfield Correctional Center, which houses many elderly and ill inmates, will receive the next round of masks. Can you tell me how much fucking sense this makes? Deerfield is the retirement community of the Virginia prisons. And just like what they mentioned, it houses many elderly and ill prisoners. So why the fuck didn't they give them the masks first? Let's give them the Coffeewood. Coffeewood is a cakewalk of a prison. Level 2. If you get locked up here in the state of Virginia, that's a prison that you definitely wouldn't mind serving some time at. Drugs rampant. I had a good friend of mine who served time at that prison. I won't name his name. I realized I've got way too many people who watch the Bobo. But he showed me this picture that he drew, and he wasn't an artist. He was a good friend of mine. He showed me this picture, and it was a pretty good picture. I think I've talked about this in a video a long time ago. Really good picture. Can't remember what it was. Maybe like some skull heads or some shit. And he told me this picture took him like 5 hours to draw, maybe longer. I don't remember. And he tells me the story about this picture where he drew it at Coffeewood and how he did meth for the first time in his life at Coffeewood. He was sitting in the back shower, jerking off and drawing a picture for 5 hours. Coffeewood. If you got to go to prison, you might not mind going there. So yeah, Coffeewood's a sweet spot to be at. Dillwyn, I've heard mixed things about that. Never been to either one of these 2 prisons. And the crazy thing is Coffeewood looks just like Indian Creek, looks just like Haynesville, the 2 level 2s that I've been at. They make all of these prisons look damn near identical for some reason. So Coffeewood looks the same as those prisons, and I think Dillwyn might even, I can't honestly say or not, maybe it does. The Virginia Department of Correction is now manufacturing sneeze and cough guards masks for use by Virginia DOC staff and offenders. Harold W. Clark, the director of DOC, said. I've tried to reach out to that dude, trying to get in contact with him. And that reminds me of a crazy story. Yo. Damn, that reminds me of a crazy story. Y'all want to hear a crazy story? Hearing that name right there. Hearing that name right there. I'll tell it to you after we go through the rest of this. This is fucking nuts. Fucking nuts. I'm trying to remember what it was all about, why it came up the way that it did. These are non-medical grade masks, and they will aid in the effort to keep the COVID-19 out of state correctional facilities. Hope they work. The amount inmates are paid. Okay, this is interesting. For working in VCE is not available from DOC on Monday, but according to a 2017 survey, or just watch my latest fucking video about prison jobs, because I nailed it right on the goddamn head here when I said Virginia inmates working for VCE were paid 55 to 80 cents per hour. God. There are no known cases of COVID-19 among offenders or staff in the department's facilities across the state as of Monday. Well, if you look up prison news right now, let's just do that. Prison news. Every goddamn story right now is about COVID in motherfucking prison. COVID confirmed at prison. 6 inmates in Arizona. Newport prison staffer. Missouri. Harvey. Parents in the admission scandals. California. Ooh, they got their first inmate. Jesus. So there's all that. Oh, shit. My bad. I was trying to show you. I wasn't showing you. There they are right there. Prison, Los Angeles, Arizona, Newport. I don't know where that's at. I used to smoke those. Missouri, Weinstein, parents in the admission scandal out early. Crazy world we're living in. California inmate. Crazy. All right. Folks, I want to share a fucking crazy story with you. I ought to write this shit down. Here's a story to share. Boy, this was wild. This was wild as fuck. I wonder if I can find the email. I got to remember, like, what this was about, like, how this whole fucking thing came up. Search for, God damn it. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I goddamn put in Virginia DOC, and it pulls up Virginia docs at the auctions. That's crazy. Talking about the house that I just bought. There's got to be... let me see. God damn it. And now I'm getting a whole bunch of JPay transaction. Was this it? Nah, it was way too early. Way too early. God damn it. I would have to hunt for this. I can't remember how this whole thing came about. Folks, let me share with you a crazy story. Oh, man. And this goes back to a video that, I talked about possibly filming, why I never joined a gang in prison. So, a couple of years ago, maybe it was 2017. 2017 was a big year for After Prison Show. I mean, we were doing good. There weren't a whole lot of other prison channels out there jocking our style. Not that they do anymore, because everything's just so far gone. But back during this time, I received an email from somebody. Do y'all want to hear a story? Y'all want to hear this? I received this email from a dude that worked for the Department of Corrections. Now, I get messages from all sorts of guards, people who used to be guards. We've featured like maybe 2 guards here on After Prison Show, maybe 3 at the most. 2 that I can remember offhand. Their stories, and they're ex-guards. And, I've had other guards who have reached out who have wanted to share their stories, and I don't even really respond to their emails because, I really don't care. That sounds horrible. But I've gone through this so many times in the past where I've had guards who have reached out, who wanted to share stories. And then when push comes to shove, they back out at the last minute. I've had cops. I've had a lot of different opportunities to try to feature people, but for whatever reason, they back out, and rightfully so. Rightfully so, because, they would be kind of spilling the beans, and that could be not good for them. And anytime that anybody wants to share a story to one person, what I'm saying is specifically to you, because you're probably up in here on the Bobo. If anybody ever wants to share a story, you can remain anonymous. We can blur your face out. I've honestly thought about just blurring my own goddamn face out, acting like somebody totally different, and just telling you the craziest fucking stories that I can make up off the top of my head. Yeah, you don't know me at all. My name is Jorge, and there's one time in prison, gosh almighty, fucking hell. I dropped the soap, and I bent over to pick up the soap, and I shit all over the fucking wall. It was fucking embarrassing. They say that, you should never drop the soap in prison, but I did, and then I shit the fucking place up, and there were other people up in the prison, or up in the shower with me, not in the prison. Of course there were people up in the shower. Like that insurance commercial where they're like blurring out the identity? I'm thinking about doing this. I'm going to wear exactly what I'm wearing today. I'm going to blur out everything but my hair. And I'm going to be like, yo, I'm about to bring you an exclusive. You'll never see this anywhere else. An exclusive interview with an ex-prisoner who wants to remain anonymous, who's getting ready to talk about this one time at band camp when they dropped the soap. Shit all over the wall. Something that you should never do in prison, not shit all over the wall, but not drop the soap. And what happened next was absolutely terrifying. Oh, God, I can see something. I can see something with that. I might actually do that. So there's that. But anyways, like I said, I've received quite a few emails from cops and guards, ex-guards. No disrespect to none of these people. It's actually better that they don't share their stories because, I wouldn't want them to be putting their jobs at risk. But what I'm getting ready to share with you doesn't involve a guard nor a cop. I just used that as filler footage. I forgot we're not on YouTube. There's not ad breaks here. I received this email from somebody who was somebody who worked at the Department of Corrections office. Now, just like that ScanTech 10K2 mail detector machine, the Department of Corrections headquarters is an elusive building. You've heard about it. You've never seen it. Maybe you've Googled images of it. It's an elusive building. Nobody knows if it truly exists or not. It's almost like the Illuminati, maybe the Freemasons. If you got grievances in prison and you're trying to take it to the absolute highest level of authority, you're going to write to this headquarters. Jonathan or whoever you are, if you want to ask me a question, at least buy me breakfast first. Subscribe. I've read your comments. How's Dave doing? You don't want to know how Dave's doing. I haven't wanted to address that at all. But if you spend $5, I'll answer your question. I'm kidding. I could care less. I received this email from this guy that worked at the headquarters. He worked at DOC, right? I can't remember why he reached out. He was like, yo, I fuck with your videos. You know what I mean? And I work at the headquarters. So the wheels began spinning immediately. I was like, yo, it's 2017. It's 2017. And I've got the ability to take this thing anywhere I go. I've got MTV reaching out. I had a lot of fucking people reaching out. So I'm like, yo, this is going to be the connection. Because of this dude, whoever this dude is, I'm going to be able to meet Pablo Escobar. I'm going to be able to get to the kilos. And Pablo Escobar at the time was Harold Clark, the head Illuminati. He was the goddamn president of that chapter, the director of the DOC. So I'm thinking that through this guy, I'm going to be able to get in contact with this dude and maybe some kind of a way get access to the prisons, and then we can go film the real Locked Up Raw. You know what I mean? After prison show goes back to prison. Don't y'all remember like when Ernest goes to camp in those movies? Oh God, my childhood. Ticks. Traumatizing. Arachnophobia. I thought I was on to something here. So I began talking with this guy first through email, and then quickly we end up on the phone. Now, while I'm talking to this guy on the phone, I realize that he's still at work. He's at work. He's at this exclusive building as we speak. And mind you, this whole story is going to go to left field. If you guys got some bits, please consider dropping those, because this is a story that I've never before shared. And I will have a tell-all coming soon. $20,000 you can buy my memoir. I'm talking to this dude on the phone, and I know that he's at work. And you're probably wondering, well, how, Joe? Did he tell you he was at work? No. He's whispering. Hey, Joe. Joe, I'm at DOC headquarters right now. And I fucks with you. I fucks with your videos. I'm like, yo, you're in the building right now? Where's Harold Clark at? Hey, can you go put him on the phone? I mean, fuck whoever you are. I mean, who are you anyway? Now, I know that sounds kind of harsh, but trust me, there's a reason. Hold the Beretta shout out to you. 301 up in here. We dropped some people. I'm glad. Get gone. You don't want to hear this anyways. I know it sounds harsh what I'm saying, but you'll understand when we get there. So I'm asking the dude if he can plug me in with the director of the DOCs. And he's kind of like beating around the bush and, you know, I can try. I can't make any guarantees. So I'm like, cool deal. Well, that's a good enough reason for me to be able to talk with you. And he's asking me certain questions about, you know, after prison show and this and that. And, you know, I'm kicking it with this dude. But quickly, I realize why this guy reached out to me. All right, so dude would tell me, and before I do that, like I asked the dude what his job is there, right? I'm like, yo, so what do you do? Are you like a director, like a junior director, a junior executive, like, you know, what you do? And he's like, oh, well, really, I'm just in charge of like either answering the phones or like, I think it was something in relation to a certain department. And I don't want to put the department out there because maybe it would be easy to pinpoint that. Like we could say, for example, in charge of like, you know, recreation in prison or something in the Virginia Department of Correction. He was in charge of, or he worked in a specific department. I can't even say he was in charge of that specific department, but he worked in this specific department, which when I heard that registered to me as this dude was a peon, right? Which is still fine. Still fine. Nothing wrong with that. But regardless of that fact that he was a peon, this dude had access to records, right? Virginia Department of Correction records. And as he was talking to me on the phone, you know, this friendly conversation goes a little more accusatory, a little more interrogatory, because he starts asking me about me, specifically in prison. Joe, have you ever done a video about the fact that you are in a gang? And when I hear this, because I don't even realize at this point that he's got access to, you know, information. When I hear this, I'm like, yo, what you talking about? He was like, well, I'm looking at your file right here. I've got it pulled up. And, you know, it says that you are a white supremacist on file. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, I know that sounds fucking harsh, right? which I am absolutely not. Never been affiliated with any type of a hate group. Never. But I did do a video a couple of years ago addressing a particular tattoo that I got unbeknownst to me behind some bullshit where I got jumped inside of a jail. And I had a friend who I knew from the free world who came to console me after I got jumped over 2 boxes of peanut butter wafer bars, kept my wafer bars, got my ass kicked. My friend comes and consoles me, and, he's like, Joe, man, good on you, man. Good on you for standing up for them peanut butter wafer bars. He's like, you know what you should do? You should get this tattoo right here. And he's showing me this stencil, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? He was like, well, it stands for white trash, and it just means that you're going to stand up for yourself. And you got to imagine that at this point in my life, I was younger, and I was a stupid motherfucker, and I didn't have shit. I don't know. I didn't feel like I belonged to anything. I don't care how you try to spin this, right? But I had just gotten my ass kicked, and I felt like white trash. And, had I thought about this any deeper at the time, I would have been like, okay, well, I'm going to get this. He was like, yo, this tattoo just means that you're going to stand up for yours. Well, I stood up for those peanut butter wafer bars, if that's what you mean. But if you're talking about stand up for yours in terms of a race, why the fuck would I do that? You know what I mean? Because I just got my goddamn ass kicked, and where the fuck were you at? Probably getting a little bit of goddamn entertainment out of this. But I got the dumbass tattoo. So when I went to prison for the very first time, it was a cakewalk. 6 months is all I had to serve. And I'll never forget, I didn't know nothing. I had gotten out of jail after getting that tattoo. I got locked up again. I went through 11 months in the jail. Nobody ever said nothing about this tattoo. Nobody knew what the fuck it was. I didn't know what it was. So I get to prison for the very first time, and this big fat ass white dude comes up to me, and he's like, yo, I see you got that tattoo. I want to give you some knowledge. And this is the first time that I am understanding that this tattoo that I got on my body is a goddamn gang, some sort of a gang affiliation tattoo. So when this dude comes up to me, I look at this dude and I am laughing at him. Yo, hey, my last name is Guerrero, okay? I don't want shit to do with you. And in fact, fuck that. And dude walked away. I should have got my ass kicked for that at least, but I didn't. And that right there let me know that this was some bullshit. So I go through that little prison bit, and I run across 2 other people who got this tattoo, and both of these dudes who got this tattoo are dumb as fuck, soft as a bitch. And I'm like, I really ought to get this tattoo covered up. But I'm getting free tattoos because of this tattoo at that time. So I'm like, hey, fuck, it is what it is. I get released, and I go back to prison for the second time, and and now they're trying to certify me as soon as I get to prison. Well, we see this tattoo, and this is tied in with some sort of a white supremacy group. And I'm like, yo, my last name is Guerrero. I ain't never been about that type of shit. You know what? I'll get the tattoo covered up as soon as I get to where I'm going. So they don't certify me right then and there. They note it on my jacket. And let me tell you something. This is some fucked up shit. Because I'm in prison with a whole bunch of real deal gangs. The Spanish dudes, the Hispanic dudes, they were fucking deep at Haynesville. And I was cool with them, minus getting chased around by my bunkie with a goddamn, no, I didn't get chased around, but he wanted to kill me. But he chased the dude around. Forgive me for mixing that up. It's been over 5 years, longer than that since I was at that prison. My bunkie, a high-ranking, Hispanic gang member dude, chased the dude around the yard with a knife, and I was like, damn, boy, that's my bunkie, though. And then me and him got into some beef because of another dude. I got mad at this other dude, and he was like, Joe, I don't want to kill you, man. And I'm like, well, thank you for not wanting to kill me. But they would come around and they would do periodically tattoo checks for gang members. I mean, everybody got to stand there down in your skivvies, and they checking everything. And you know, I got through every. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I got through some of those checks, but then some of them, you know, they would be like, yo, you got to come out here. And everybody at the prison knows that I don't rock with no gang, so when they see me getting called out, that's even worse. Yo, what they calling Joe out for? What is he, a motherfucking Russian? So, all of that leads me to being at Haynesville, where their gang task force and their investigators were the biggest pieces of shit I've ever ran across in my life. These dudes were young, cocky, like fucking roided out motherfuckers who they were like, you know, bad cops is what they was. They wanted information and they would try to get motherfuckers to snitch. They tried to get me to snitch. But I ain't ever do that. If I ever told, I told on myself. But let me get to the point of the story. I'm going to make a video about this. Why I never joined a gang in prison. And guess what? I'm going to tie in this whole fucking shit that I'm telling you guys about, this other shit with this DOC worker. So anyways, this one day, I get called down to the investigator's office. Now, this wasn't really nothing new. You either get called down to the investigator's office because you're a snitch, or you get called down to the investigator's office because you're up to no good and somebody's done snitched on you. And I was the latter in terms of that, doing my tattoos, my shitty tattoo work that I would do. You know, I'm getting called down there and I ain't thinking nothing about it. And I was on the hot list at this point too. So I'm taking a piss test at least once a week. So between tattooing and the hot list, I'm not really worried about getting called down to this investigator's office, even though it's a bad look. Regardless. So I go down there. And these motherfuckers say to me, they were like, yo, we just wanted to meet you. I was like, what the fuck you want to meet me for? They said, because you're a fucking white supremacist and you're Hispanic. They said, we knew this couldn't be right. I said, well, let me tell you something. I ain't none of that shit. I said, I don't affiliate with nothing. I said, and I got a dumbass tattoo that I never even knew what it fucking meant when I was younger. They were like, well, you know, it don't matter. We got to certify you. And at that very moment, my whole goddamn life fucking changed. My whole life changed. I got certified as a fucking gang member for something that I never even was. You know, when I was at any prison, the AB dudes, because that was really who you were dealing with, like seeing, you had your Crips, your Bloods, any facet of your Hispanic gangs, whether we're talking about MS-13, Mexican Mafia, anything like that. Your white set would be like your AB dudes. And then, you know, you had like some little pop-up things too. Crazy, stupid gangs. Dead Man Inc. one. And that's not like a white gang. That was like a, you know, mixed gang, but just crazy gang. So anyways, you know, I'm at Indian Creek, and they had a pretty deep AB set there. And these dudes walked around like King Kong on this goddamn compound. And I ain't fuck with them dudes. I mean, I was friendly with everybody, but you couldn't never come to Joe and be like, hey, Joe, need you go do this. Fuck you. I don't care where that leads. I've shared that story before, and I share it only again because I know there's people who probably have never heard it, and I needed to clarify that. And then let's go into the deeper picture here, me talking to this guy that works at DOC headquarters, who asks me on the phone as he's getting to know me because he's a fan, how come you've never addressed your gang affiliation in a video? What are you talking about? I'm not a gang member. He's like, well, you know, I work at DOC. I've got access to the records. He's like, and I can see it right here that clearly you are. You know, I don't care how this sounds. It's probably going to sound bad. I would have never even done the video about that tattoo because you got to think about this. I don't even know when I did that video. The worst tattoo I ever got. I don't know when I did that video, but for as long as I've been doing videos prior to doing that video, it's not like I ever hide this tattoo. And not one single soul on this planet has ever called me out for this tattoo. Damn, Joe, I ain't know you was like that. And you know why they never did? Because the tattoo don't mean nothing. Nobody even respects that shit. But yet these cocky son of a bitch investigators put this bone on me that ain't true. And I get released. And so anytime that I'm on probation, I'm on gang task force probation. I've shared the story in the past about being at my apartment prior to After Prison Show blowing up, but yet still filming videos, you know, waiting for my big break or whatever. And I get a knock on the door and it's, you know, the police knock. So I'm already fucked up behind that, and I open the door, and it's a woman with a badge around her neck and a dude dressed in the full tactical gang task force. Now, I probably told that story before and kind of lied about it and said that it was like, you know, SWAT or some shit. Maybe I did tell the real story. And these dudes show up at my apartment, the gang unit. Yeah, we're just doing a home visit. Why are you looking so nervous? I went into probation after that and spazzed on my PO. Yo, what the fuck you send these motherfuckers? I ain't done nothing for you to do some shit like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just out of the office. They were the only ones available. I've been on gang probation. I get called in to probation a couple of years ago. Don't know why I'm there. There's only a few people in there. And everybody in there doesn't know why they're there. And then we go into the back and they tell us to strip down one by one. And guess who I'm looking at in this office? This same cock-sucking motherfucking investigator who branded me with this fucking tattoo. I mean, with this bone. And I'm like, yo, you remember me? He was like, no. I said, you don't remember that you fucking certified me as something that I'm not behind a tattoo that don't even fucking matter? You know what this dude told me? He was like, oh yeah, the Hispanic last name. He was like, yeah, you know, I know a lot more about that tattoo and that white trash thing now, and that shit ain't nothing. I said, yeah, well, fuck you too for, you know, what you've done to my life. Because I got off track. The point of all of that is that had I never done the video that I did about that tattoo, nobody would have ever been the wiser that Joe, you know, something stupid is always happening to me. That's probably one of the biggest, dumbest fucking things that's ever happened to me. You know the only way that I can get that off of my jacket? You know, I guess it only pertains to like prison and jail and cops and probation, because it's not like it would ever pop up on like a, maybe it pops up on a background check. I don't honestly know. But the only way that I could ever get rid of that is I got to go to court and like fight for that to get taken off. Fight and try to prove to the judge that that's not what I am. Maybe I ought to do that for a little clout. I've seen videos like that perform really well. But anyways, the only reason I ever did that video was because I felt like this dude was almost trying to blackmail me. Yeah, that's right. I almost felt like this dude was trying to blackmail me. Joe, why haven't you ever told the world about your affiliation? The fuck do you mean my affiliate? Well, I'm looking at your jacket right here. I got it pulled up. I work at the fucking Unicorn Station, the DOC headquarters. And I'm looking dead at this shit. I can't remember how that phone call wrapped up. I do remember that being one of, you know, the last phone call I ever had with that dude. I went into that conversation hoping that he was going to be able to plug us in with the director, plug us into access to the prisons. But really, I felt like maybe he was just, trolling me super heavy. Kind of crazy to think back on that. One of many, many crazy things that I've never gotten a chance to share. So, Becky says if you Google white trash, nothing shows up. Yeah, I've also Googled it. It's pretty stupid. Nothing shows up. So anyways, just wanted to share that little crazy story with you guys. That's what you guys get here on the Bobo, the real deal Holyfield. I need to go ahead and film that video while it's fresh on my mind. I probably ought to just download it from the Bobo, turn it into a video, and call it a day. That way I can go finish painting over at the house. All right. I got to go ahead and wrap up the Bobo. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for taking the time to rock with me on this thing, man. A lot of crazy shit. Hoping to make today a good day. I hope you guys have a good day as well. You know what I'm not going to do and what I'm going to try to refrain from doing? I'm going to try to refrain from bitching so much. You know, because I don't feel like I got no right to bitch about nothing. You know, it is absolutely what it is at this point. And we got so much bigger shit to be worrying about in this world. And I just hope that each and every one of you guys are doing okay. Handling the circumstances the best way that you can be handling the circumstances with, keeping yourselves safe, keeping yourselves away from people. I mean, these are fucking crazy times that we're living with. And meanwhile, I'm still going out, venturing out. My wife had to go to work this morning. She works for a company where somebody actually just tested positive for this fucking shit. I mean, we're talking about a far-off person, but God only knows how much contact with other people that person's had, how much contact with people those people have had. I ain't even been sick this year. And it was just a couple of, maybe a month or two ago. I can't tell you how long I've been smoking for, but I've been smoking since my wife got sick. And she got deathly fucking sick. Maybe about almost 2 months ago. And I think to myself, because I have yet to get sick, maybe she had that shit. They say that China knew about this back in December. I just hope that you guys take good care of yourselves. I thank you guys for all the love and support. I share with you guys a lot of crazy shit. And at this point, I mentioned it earlier, like kind of getting kamikaze. Fuck it. If we crash and burn, we crash and burn. But one thing that I will always, always, always do is try to keep it as real as I possibly can with you. And I've prided myself on doing that from the beginning. And I always try to do that. So there's what it is. Shout out to you guys. Hope you have a good day. I'm going to try to make it a good day as well. Talked about a lot of good things here on the Bobo. I got to get some filming done, so it's almost going to be verbatim. I swear I need to just download this and do some freaking Joe Rogan shit and just make some clips into a video. Have a great one, folks. I look forward to talking with you guys again real soon. And until then, peace.